Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, or if you're new, welcome. We're gonna get back into more foodie beauty content. Now, quickly before I get into it, this video is not going to be the normal reaction videos that I do. I'm not going to be lighthearted. I'm not going to be joking or poking fun at any particular things that foodie has done. This is a very serious topic, and I kind of want to do in an objective and respectful manner. I do apologize if this is not your type of video, so I do completely understand if you're going to wait for another one. Please go to the more lighthearted ones if you don't really want to talk about people, potentially hear about people that are no longer here, or particular threats of people no longer being around or should no longer be around. I completely understand that it's not a very appropriate thing to talk about, especially in the manner in which Foodie has talked about FFG and her mother. So I completely understand, and if you want to check out other videos, please do that. No hate or anything like that. I just don't want people feeling like they should watch his content or really speak on this content. I do kind of want to point out that if you do want to criticize her actions, please do it in a respectful manner. I can't stop you from going to her channel or her social medias, but please do not do the things that she has done. Do not send hate, do not send any particular type of threats. Criticize her actions in a respectful manner that shows that you are above her and people like Amber, because we should always strive to be better and not be the type of people to kind of go down to the level. Yes, we can have our jokes, we can have our fun, we can make, those type of lighthearted comments, but there is never an appropriate situation where you speak on the dead in that type of manner, or speaking or wishing someone to no longer be around. It's not anything I will ever accept, and I would hope that if I ever to make those jokes, for you guys to hold me accountable for my actions as well. So we are going to get into the post, and I will censor the photos and stuff, but I will kind of really speak on the things that she says in the post, and then we will get to the video itself. Starting off the first post, this is just about her not getting a cat spayed and really criticizing people for criticizing her. We'll quickly read it and then we'll get on to the other stuff. I think this kind of set things in motion for her rant that she usually does when it comes to FFG, or just anyone who really criticizes her in general. But basically she says, "Here's an idea for you all. Mind your business when it comes to getting my cat spayed. Weirdos. You got a GoPro, but you can't afford to get your cat fixed. It's not about money. It really isn't. She has the time, the resources, and the ability to get the cat fixed. She just doesn't do it. It is pure laziness on her part. That is it. It is neglectful laziness. Has nothing to do with money, so she just says it for herself. Again, why, when, where she will get spayed, etc. is none of your business. When you place the cat online for people to see, it is everyone's business. If you don't want something online, stop putting it online. Like, people think that social media allows them privacy when they post things. No. You talking about something on social media is the equivalent of standing up at the dinner table to all your family members and addressing your private stuff, not wanting to be out in public. Like, you can't stand up and be like, hey, I did X, and then have your family look at you weirdly and go, why are people judging me when I wanted this private? You stood up in the middle of the dining table, essentially, and shouted it out to everyone so they could hear you. Like, don't talk on public forums or on social media if you don't want those private things public. It's like, it is the most simple concept. It really is. It's not neglectful. It's not abusive. No, I wouldn't call it abusive, but I would call it neglectful, because when animals don't get desexed, it could potentially lead them to certain discomfort, certain issues with bladder, certain issues with diseases or sicknesses, or even cancer. Also unwanted pregnancies, which happens a lot, but it's more so the diseases, the sicknesses, the discomfort, and the cancer that could potentially be detrimental in the long run for your animal. So that is why people really get the cats, or any animal in general, fixed or, desexed. If you think it is, no one cares. Obviously, people do care. Otherwise, they wouldn't really be bringing it up, Foodie, and you wouldn't be addressing it a million times like you just said. That's all I'm saying about it. I already addressed the subject a million times. Please get a life. It will do you some good. Bye. Again, just her being neglectful with her animals. Nothing new. She's done this before with all of her other pets. She's just a very neglectful abuser. And that's all I really have to say. She's a very abusive person. I have other videos talking about the exact abuse, and there are comments under my videos going into great detail of the things that she has done. She likes to try justifying it by saying, no, it was perfectly fine. The cat was elderly. Doesn't matter. If the cat is alive and it is under your guardianship, it is your job to make sure it is healthy. And if its quality of life is getting to the point where it is more of a detriment than genuinely happy and okay, then it is your responsibility to be there when that cat passes on by a humane way. And when I say humane way, I mean getting it put down by a registered veterinarian and being there and comforting it in its final moments. Like, that is your responsibility as a pet owner, and nobody likes that. I've had to do it myself multiple times. It is a very traumatizing and sad thing, but as a pet owner, it is part of your responsibility to do. It is a sad thing, it is a sad reality, but it's still your reality that you have to take part in if you want to be a pet owner. Moving on to the second post, we have Foodie Beauty bragging about putting FFG's deceased mother in her intro because FFG did the same thing to her family members. Now, I don't agree with either side doing it. You don't bring other people into a public argument just because they are related to that person. You don't do that because they do not do those things to you. Even if they may criticize your actions, criticize their actions back. That is it. You don't need to attack someone's faith, you don't attack someone's appearance, you don't attack the way that they live or anything like that. Criticize someone's actions, especially when that person is no longer around. You should have more respect for the dead, especially when the dead has not done anything towards you specifically, Foodie. It's just a flat out disgusting thing. And as you as a Muslim, you are supposed to have the higher ground because it is not something that you should really speak on as a religious person. Like, you are showing who you really are by doing this. Just in general, not just a religious person, just any person in general. There's a basic level of respect you have, not only for the dead, but for people who have not wronged you. And also, I will not be showing the photos themselves because I don't think it's appropriate to show the photos of deceased people, especially when they're not public figures. Even if their daughter may be a public figure, I'm not going to really go to that kind of level where I believe it's appropriate to post those photos. All I do have to say is that her mother is a very beautiful woman, like a very beautiful woman. And I do not agree with Foodie Beauty attacking anyone's looks, especially considering that you are hypercritical of people kind of judging you for your looks. And remove the makeup, remove the filters. You yourself should be a little bit more humble. And I know that is kind of a dig, and it's not something like, I'm not doing it specifically to attack her, but when you are someone who wears filters and you wear a bunch of makeup in order to kind of hide the imperfections in your face, you should not be really throwing that type of energy out to other people. Like, you yourself are putting on a fake front, so how dare you attack someone else for the way they look. Now, this is the last one I have. I do believe that she does actually have more like posts that she posted, but she did delete all of them. So I kind of want to make it apparent that I don't have all of them. There is other kind of posts out there. So if someone actually has those, I would really appreciate it just so I could post them. So that way I could be more forthcoming and be like, all right, this is being transparent, this is all the evidence, this is all the stuff. She does make an apology, but is a very fake apology, which she already deleted the apology too. So not only was it a disingenuous apology, the apology itself was also just taken down, so it adds to the disingenuousness of the apology itself. So Foodie says, it's okay for this bee to post this though, right? I hope your mother is rotting in hell, which, Jesus, Foodie, like, this woman has not done anything to you, and for you to speak ill of her is just flat out disgusting. Come on. Like, I understand that I have my type of criticism for you, but you're just a naturally bad person. You don't know anything about this woman or what she has gone through or what she has done in her life, and you're just attacking her for no apparent reason other than the fact that you dislike her daughter, which is just disgusting. This is going to be the last disclaimer because there is a lot of things that she says and does that is just not appropriate in the video itself. So if you guys don't want to see that, it's best to kind of really click off now and go to another video. Again, I completely understand. I just, listening to a second time is going to be bad enough, so I completely understand if you guys don't want to hear it a first time. So please understand that there is just a lot of negative stuff in the video. So we are going to play it right now though.
All right, hi guys. So I'm going to have dinner with you guys. I'm going to warn you that you're not going to like this version of me. I'm out for blood today, and I'm fighting fire with fire today. I've had enough, and I want to talk. So I'm having Turkish grill, so chicken kebab.
It's bad enough that she speaks about the dead, and not wanting someone to be around anymore. Like, wishing death upon someone is bad enough, and speaking about the dead is even worse, but to add your gluttony into this is just another level of disgusting, to the point where it just makes me have another level of disdain for this person. Like, I already had a low opinion of this person before, but to see the things that she does is just, it's a whole new level that even I didn't think this woman could sink to. It's just, I don't have any words other than genuine physical repulsion at every fiber of my being just looking at this woman right now.
I posted on my community tab a picture of FFG's. FFG, I'm gonna refer to her as Slimer, okay?
Yeah, absolutely not. I'm not doing that. She does post a photo of the Slimer ghost from Ghostbusters, as well as posting FFG's face on top of it. We're just gonna put a little sticker on that. We're not doing that. We're not doing that in this video. Absolutely not.
On Slimer's deceased mother on my community tab. All right. And you're probably thinking, what piece of shit?
I'm sorry, but her stopping in order to actually gorge on food and eat food is just absolutely ridiculous. How the hell are you going to talk about posting photos of deceased people in a way of really doing a gotcha while actively eating? Like, that is a level of just sickness that it cannot be described, that you need to go see a professional therapist if you are that almost demented. Like, demented is not the type of word that really should be used lightly. That is just flat out demented. Like, you have to be a level of genuinely demented in order to actually do what you are doing right now.
Would post someone's deceased mother on their community tab, and why? Well, I'm going to tell you why right now.
I don't care the reason why. There is no justification for why. You do not do that, especially to someone who is not around, who has done nothing to you. Oh my god. The justification in your mind, like, the fact that you have to justify that proves that there is something wrong with it inherently if you have to justify it in the first place. Justifying being, well, she did this to me, then you shouldn't have done it. Like, you shouldn't be doing it. Like, oh my god. Like, how the hell do 40-year-old women act like this on the internet? Like, come on.
I'm going to remind you, everything that this vile monster of a human being, if you can call it that. Yes, I'm dehumanizing her like she dehumanizes me. I want to make it clear.
No, Foodie, this is not the same thing as dehumanization. Taking away someone's status of being human or the humanity is not the same thing as someone making a joke about your diabetes. Is it inappropriate? Most definitely. Diabetes is something that could potentially take someone's life. It could cause someone to lose limbs or just have a poor quality of life. It is a very serious thing that should be taken seriously. Obviously, the person who has diabetes, who has made that exact same joke about herself, does not take her own diabetes seriously, so why should other people not criticize you or joke about your diabetes when you yourself are a hypocrite? So, trying to kind of justify your negative intent by removing someone's status by saying, well, they do the same thing. No, they don't. She didn't dehumanize you in this meme. Give us an actual example of dehumanization, and then we could say, yeah, well, you're both equally bad. But in this circumstance, no, it's not dehumanization. In fact, you using that word kind of really just speaks volumes about your lack of understanding, because dehumanization is something that we used to do towards other groups of people. We used to create racial science in order to dehumanize people of color, so that way our mistreatment of them allowed us to abuse them. That is the definition of dehumanizing, not a goddamn meme.
I have no sympathy. I have no care, no empathy. I have nothing but black hatred for this person. And I'm going to tell you why. And after I list off the facts and the reasons why, I want to ask you, really, how you cannot understand.
The overdramaticism is just ridiculous. You're a grown-ass adult. You're not a toddler. You don't need to draw it out for a 20-minute video. Just get to the point.
after everything this vile person has done, that I would just sit back over and over like I've been doing for years and never losing my shit and giving it back.
That is a flat out lie. She has clapped back multiple times. She thinks just because she deletes stuff that people are not going to record it or keep it for like videos and stuff like that. Exactly what I'm doing right now. People do this all the time. There are videos of posts that you have made years ago of you clapping back, and there is evidence. Go to any of the reaction channels and you would be able to probably find it. It shows you that she is lying through her teeth, and she can do it so easily.
And when I do, you turn it around, play the victim. Well, let's get into it.
It doesn't matter who threw the first punch. It could be Foodie, it could be FFG. It doesn't matter. What comes down to the situation is if you both are throwing punches, you're both equally bad. And whoever's worse really comes down to who's willing to throw the lowest blow. And the fact that you're willing to bring up someone's dead mother as a gotcha just really proves that you have no morality. Like, you did a perfect character assassination on yourself just to win a petty ass argument and show how disgustingly repulsive you are. Like, congratulations, you're a repulsive person. Congratulations, people see another reason just to hate you. Congratulations, you have managed to hit the rock bottom and still keep drilling down. Like, what's your prize? Everyone thinks you're even shittier than you actually were? I mean, there you go.
And by the way, if doing this makes me a bad Muslim, then I'm a bad Muslim.
No, Foodie, you are not a Muslim. You will never be a Muslim because you are only appropriating what it is to be a Muslim. You are cosplaying a religion simply to get a man and validation for having a man. That is the only reason you are Muslim. You do not have the faith, so therefore you do not get to claim something and get that respect from me. The only time I will ever acknowledge you as a Muslim is to poke fun at you in some sort of way. I will never respect you for being a Muslim because you are not a Muslim. You are not even attempting to be a Muslim. You are a joke cosplaying a Muslim.
Whatever. Let's start with, why post her mother, her deceased mother? That's disgusting. All right. So that's disgusting. Making fun of my mom, literally calling her a whore.
Now, this is kind of where I have to add a little bit of nuance because I don't watch FFG and I don't know whether or not she has said that. And with Foodie, she is a compulsive liar, so I have to take everything she says with a grain of salt. So if you are telling the truth, which, again, you lie about anything and everything regardless of how much evidence there is, so I don't know whether or not this is true. I'm just going to say that it might be true, it might not be true. I believe that even if it is true, it does not give you the justification to bring up someone's deceased mother as a justification. And for FFG, if she did actually refer to your mother as a W, that's incredibly inappropriate. You don't refer to anyone, regardless of their promiscuity, as a W simply because you want to have some online fight with her daughter. Don't refer to people like that, especially not public figures that don't have the ability to argue back or criticize you back. Leave people's family members and loved ones out of the conversation. Just full stop.
On live, many times, making fun of my aunt, calling her ugly, Uncle Phil, her name is Phyllis, calling her Uncle Phil.
Attacking people for their looks is kind of a low blow, and as someone who does do that kind of to Foodie and Amber, not because they are ugly, but because they are more so the fact they're just terrible people, I can understand the hypocrisy in that statement, and if you're willing to go, hey, you're a bit of a hypocrite, completely understandable, completely agree. Like, I am not defending my actions in the slightest. Like, I know that I'm taking a low blow. That being said, you can't cry about someone else doing the same thing to you or your loved ones when you yourself do the exact same thing. And I don't agree with more so the fact towards her loved ones because they aren't really doing anything towards FFG. Like, don't do it because you just want to attack someone's loved ones because you have an issue with that person.
Posting her, my mom's face, no problem though, right? But it's not okay just because your mother's dead.
I don't agree with either. Like, deceased or not, it doesn't matter. Like, if they're private figures, don't bring them into the public just to have a gotcha match. Like, either one is not good. You're worse because you brought someone who's deceased into the public eye just as a gotcha, but she is also just as bad in the view of bringing someone private into the public as some sort of gotcha. Like, you're a little bit worse, but at the same time, you're both bad in that situation.
I don't really give a shit about you or your mother.
I want to say this in a way that doesn't misrepresent my argument, but most people as individuals have our own personality types. We have our own individual thoughts, feelings, and ways of acting. Like, we have our own quirks, we have our own sense of humor, that type of stuff. And when we first meet people, or when we are in a situation that calls for eloquence or just carrying ourselves in like a higher, more respectful way, we don't put on like a fake character. In most cases, some people do, but in most cases, we kind of take our personality, our true, real personality, and just reserve it a little. Like, we don't actively take every single part of our personality and just throw it out the window. We take aspects of it and we just go, all right, dial it back a little. Take it from, 7 down to 4, down to a 3. That is who a lot of people are. Like, again, not all people, but most people. People like Foodie and Amber aren't able to do that because they're naturally just not good people. They are very terrible people who are egotistical, condescending, rude, self-serving. So what they're going to do is kind of create a disguise in which allows them to create a personality for people to see a perceived version of themselves. They're not going to show you their authentic selves because they don't want you to know who they truly are. So they're going to create a representative that kind of is like a fill-in for their personality. They're going to try to be more respectful, more just overall a decent human being. But when their inhibition, for example, like right now with Foodie raging, her inhibition is low, so therefore like the disguise is slipping. So now she is showing you her true authentic self. She doesn't care about the things that she is doing. She is not actually sorry. She's just saying that because her inhibition is so low, it's allowing her to kind of take the disguise off and just truly be who she is, because now she just doesn't care. And it's not that she regrets what she's saying. She doesn't regret it. She doesn't care. It regrets that people are seeing who she truly is.
Dead or alive, after what you've done and said to my family. I'm not being the better person today. I'm done being a good person to these people. I'm done being the good person right now. Really ask yourself if you would be the better person. It's easy to say when you're not in my shoes. If this person was literally a parasite in your life.
To be completely honest, I think it's less of a parasite and more of a symbiotic relationship, because a parasite only takes where, regardless of whether or not you like her, FFG does create drama which keeps you relevant. So therefore it's not technically a parasitic relationship, it's a symbiotic relationship. And if you were able to do it right, you could benefit from it too.
Parasites require a host to feed off of. This person makes fun of my looks, my body in the most disgusting ways every day.
And you do the exact same thing. You can't complain about people criticizing your looks if you do it to other people, because it makes you a hypocrite.
Claims I ate myself to infertility.
This is a bit of a sensitive topic, but yes, technically you can make yourself infertile. The longer you are morbidly obese, the higher the chance that you are going to become infertile and not have children. Now, this isn't to say, well, it's your fault that you lost the ability to have children because you're morbidly obese, because there are different circumstances to why people are morbidly obese. It is a simple fact. The higher your BMI, the more likelihood of both men and women you're going to cause the ability to have not have children or have complications of having children because you are morbidly obese. Like, it is a sensitive topic and there are ways of approaching it. Making fun of someone because they can't have kids, yeah, I don't agree with that. That's a big yikes on FFG's part, if it's true. Again, I have to take her word for it because I don't watch FFG's content.
Called my mom a whore, makes fun of my aunt, the people I love in my life. So yeah, fuck you and your dead mother. I don't give a shit. I really don't have any sympathy for you. Considering that after she passed, you went live to talk more shit about me. You dehumanize me every day, you vile piece of crap.
Again, those things aren't dehumanizing you because they're not taking your humanity away from you. You actively addressing her in a way that makes her seem less than human is a way of dehumanizing her. There's a difference. You saying that she's dehumanizing you doesn't make it so. Like, again, making fun of your infertility or making fun of your diabetes is not dehumanizing. You need to stop using words that are not true because then it leads to you looking like a fool.
I have no sympathy for you or your dead mother. This crazy bitch hid in a snowbank behind my house. She came to my fucking house to steal my cat.
Alright, two things. First and foremost, I don't agree with her going in real life. Like, FFG did something that I don't agree with. It was a way of really exploiting the situation and just going for another just stupid, petty thing. I don't agree with that. I think it was kind of stupid. That being said, you did not have your cat kidnapped. You gave your cat away to the first person that was willing to accept the cat simply because you could get the validation and attention you wanted from your husband, Salah, in the Middle East. Like, you were so desperate to prove both the haters and your ex-boyfriend wrong that you were willing to get rid of the only things that truly cared about you to go live in the Middle East for validation of having a man. That was not kidnapping. You gave them away, and you only gave them away after you bragged about going to have them put down. You got so much hate from you bragging about them going to get put down that you gave your cat to your hater simply because you were so desperate for the validation. It was not kidnapping. You gave your cat away. That is not... This lie is so stupid because you gave her away. You gave the cat away.
That I was gonna rehome because she was afraid I would put her to sleep. A 21-year-old cat. BBJ, you're not going in the suitcase. You're going in a cardboard box. Cardboard box? Probably a bag, Zeta. I think pets get buried in bags. Deal with it. After she put her 2 dogs to sleep.
Alright, so I decided to look up the reason why she had to have the dogs put down, and by the sounds of it, it was medical reasons. Like, people are saying that it was medical reasons. Like, she would stop live streams and take time off work in order to do medication and, like, vet runs, emergency vet runs to make sure the animals were still just alive. So, like, if this really is true, like, Foodie, what the F is wrong with you? Like, if a woman has lost her pets and she's done everything for them and she's had to have them put down because they are suffering, what kind of justification is that for you being a pathetic owner who abused your animal and then really bragged about wanting to put it down? I will bring the clip up again if you want me to, just because you didn't want to rehome the animal because you just wanted to get rid of it so you could go to the Middle East for validation, for male attention and validation.
No sympathy for you. You deserve all the heartache and pain you go through in life. And honestly, I hope you go through a lot.
I can't with this woman. I really can't. Like, wanting people to suffer just because you are being criticized for your own actions is just, it really is peak narcissism. Like, it is just, I don't have any words other than the fact that you're talking about a woman having to have her animals put down, even though she did everything for them, but her criticizing you for abusing your animal and then wanting to have your animal put down. Like, do you have any semblance of self-awareness or nuance in your life? Are you just that goddamn stupid? Like, again, like, I don't like using the word demented, but, like, this woman is demented. Like, I'm sorry, but there is no other word for it. Either that or a goddamn psychopath.
She has thousands of videos, 3 channels, saying the most disgusting things about me.
Okay, and, I mean, after this video, I'm going to be saying a lot worse about you.
Of the amount that I have taken over the years, every bad, detrimental thing that happens to me in life, you revel gleefully on your channel about it. When I've been cheated on, you clap your hands with your audience in gleeful ceremony. When I was going through an abusive relationship, you made fucking entertainment out of it.
I don't know everything about the Nader situation, but from what I do remember is that you fought another woman for a man who gave you an STD, abused you, her, and other people, and then defended him even though he had all these situations ongoing. So you can say what you want about that situation, but you actively took part in monetizing your own DV, other women's DV, and potentially even our allegations while actively engaging in very bad behaviors with this man. You became an addict because of this man, but you were still willing to monetize and film videos with him. So don't complain about other people monetizing your negative interactions when you yourself were monetizing them. You should lead by example and take the videos down and keep all the videos off, or not have posted them in the first place. That is your fault. No one else's, your fault. And a reaction channel is allowed to do that because that is the name of the game.
I don't give a fuck about you or your dead mother. You can both choke. I really don't care if you live or die.
Again, this is the inhibition allowing her to say that she wants someone to choke and die. That is the level of which she is gone down. She is wishing the unaliving of a person. That is who she truly is as a person. And the fact that there were people accepting FFG's apology for her and defending her actions show you the level of morality that the people that subscribe to her. People were accepting FFG's apology for her on behalf of FFG. And that is the craziest thing. Like, that is a level of delusion that her followers also have. None of you have the right to accept FFG's apology because the apology wasn't to you. The apology was fake, it was disingenuous, and it was taken down because it was disingenuous, but at the same time, it was still not views. And to justify and defend her actions shows the level of just empathy that all of yous have. You're like a battlefield of red flags. I'm sorry. I don't know what I'm apologizing for. They're all bad people. Like, I'm apologizing to terrible people. It doesn't make any sense.
I don't even see you as human. I really, really wish the worst for you in life.
That right there is the dehumanization in which you speak. You took her humanity away from her, viewing her less than, and then you wish the worst for her, to her no longer to exist. That right there is the dehumanization that you so desperately crave from her.
And believe me, all of this legacy you built on YouTube, all of these disgusting videos, thousands of them, harassing, targeting me every single day like a parasite, feeding off of my life instead of living your own, you're pitiful. So that's why I posted those pictures. Because even if I make fun of her dead mother, boo-hoo, it pales in comparison to the vile, disgusting creature you are.
I mean, if all this stuff really does exist, then you could have easily put it in the video, but you didn't. You put a meme and said that she talked about your infertility issues and called your mama W. No evidence to prove those two things, but you're saying that it does exist. So go through the videos, pull them up, timestamp them, and then post them. That's all you got to do. Actively criticize her by showing evidence, and people will actually back you for once.
That you have the nerve to talk about my complexion when you have you. No, you don't have a mirror. You don't have a webcam. Nothing, because you're a coward.
Again, it's just your own hypocrisy. Stop calling other people ugly and then criticizing other people for calling you ugly. It's like just the same thing over and over again.
I think I'll find room for you and your mother in my intro, too. Like I said, I'm out for blood, and I'm coming for you. You're literally, inside and out, the most hideous person in Gurl world. But you judge everyone else.
Right there, complaining about how the way she perceives your attractiveness while actively doing the same thing again. Just hypocrisy. Like, this entire thing could be Foodie Beauty the hypocrite. In fact, actually, I think that's what I'm going to call it.
Honestly, you talk about my infertility? Who's gonna procreate with you? You make men sterile.
I have people that are very close to me that have, infertility issues, so it's not really something I would ever take slight at a woman for. That being said, I will this one time say that I believe that it's a good thing that she isn't able to have children. And I know that sounds incredibly terrible, But if you are able to neglect and abuse an animal to the level of which you did to BBJ, I think it's a good thing that you're not able to have kids. I can take solace, not happiness, but solace in the fact that you are not able to have children, because the level of abuse and neglect you could potentially do to them is horrifying to me. Is absolutely horrifying. And if your pure laziness does not allow you to go get your cat desexed, I could only imagine what you're willing to let your children suffer with purely out of your own unwillingness to actually get off your ass and do something.
Good luck. That's another thing. You openly infertility shame me. You say the most vile, disgusting things. But that's okay. Your shitty audience condones that.
I mean, yes, but you also have an audience that condones your negative attitude and actions, so you have no room to speak again.
Before any of you shitheads have the nerve to ask me how I can go low and say her mom is worm food, which, by the way,
I mean, again, I have made my jokes about Foodie, I have made my jokes about Amber, I have made my jokes about, calling Tommy Black Widow Tommy. Like, at the end of the day, I would never hope anything bad to happen to either of them, and to actually speak about the dead and call them worm food, and to hope someone, pass away is just... you are literally just, every fiber of your being, every cell that exists, that is you, is just the purest form of disgusting. Like, oh my god. There is a massive difference between a dark joke, like calling someone Black Widow Tommy, and, whatever that is.
I like to post pictures that were like 20 million years old of yourself. You don't look like that anymore when you post pictures of yourself. Post a modern picture holding up the newspaper, today's newspaper. You post a picture of your mom from 1960s, but try to make my family look ugly in your pictures and your thumbnails.
I mean, you've done the same thing. I've done the same thing. Most reaction channels have done the same thing. Well, they see, a specific screenshot that makes you look funny or weird, and we use it because that's what's going to get us the clicks. Like, we are all guilty of that, including you. So, I mean, you can't really complain.
Fuck you for ever doing that. You deserve this. You have no one to blame but yourself, so stop gaslighting everyone. Except maybe your brain-dead audience. I don't care how much sympathy you're going to try to garner from this. You're a crybaby. I don't care how much money you make. I don't care how many hateful views you get. I don't want any of your flea bag parasite audience near me with their hateful shit. But they have the nerve to sit there and listen to what you spew about me for hours every fucking day and then say I'm vile. Yes, I am vile. I told you, I'm out for blood. And I'm going lower.
I mean, you did the exact same thing today, so therefore you are exactly what you were complaining about. Like, the lack of self-awareness, again, is just tedious at this point. You are the very thing you complain about.
Actually, me doing this doesn't even compare to what you've put me through for years. So, I wish you nothing but a life of loneliness and bitterness, and to continue to watch me be happy and successful in life.
You were nearly 200 kilos, raging and failing your diet over a petty argument over the internet while being married, fake married, to a man who's cheated on you multiple times. Where exactly is the success in your life? Where is the happiness? Because I certainly don't see it.
Loneliness, like you are now. The only person who loves you in life is a pack of cigarettes. The only reason people like you on your channel is because you hate me. And honestly, no amount of views, no amount of anything can erase a face that only your dead mother could love.
Again, you are paying someone to love you, and the man that you are paying to love you, the sugar baby that you hired to love you, cheated on you because he couldn't stand you.
I don't give a fuck if you're outraged by my posts. Cancel me, I don't care. This couldn't happen to a better person. You want to come for my family? I'll come for yours. I'm not being the better person anymore. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. You go low, I'll go lower. So, I really have zero sympathy You called my mom a whore. Zero, many times. Zero sympathy. You call my aunt Uncle Phil and make fun of how she looks when you look 100 times worse. Zero sympathy. When my grandmother passed, you made fun of me.
This is an interesting case because I have actually seen her use her grandmother in a way to actually get sympathy. And like, I don't agree with what FFG did if it's true. If she made fun of someone who is going through a mental breakdown or dealing with mental issues or some sort of depression or something because they lost someone, I definitely don't agree with that. But at the same time, I have seen you use your grandmother's death as a way to get sympathy. Like when you were fighting with Nada and you were having issues and you were having a breakdown, you brought up your grandmother as a justification for why you were crying and you wanted sympathy. So it's kind of on the fence. Like, I'm definitely don't agree with what FFG did if she did do that, but at the same time, you're using your dead grandmother as a way of garner sympathy, which is just as bad in my opinion.
On live streams. You always try to push me to rage. You always try to push me to my limit. Well, you've done it. And now you're gonna cry, right? That I attacked your mother. Fuck you and your mother.
Alright guys, this was a bit of a tough video. Like I said before, I make my jokes, I have my fun, I poke fun at Amber, I poke fun at Foodie, it's all on light heart. I know that they're terrible people, but at the end of the day, I have said multiple times, I would never wish anything bad, and I would always hope they would lose the weight, they would be happy, they would be healthy, they would find someone that would make them better people, so that way they wouldn't be the just terrible human beings, abusive human beings they were. Like, at the end of the day, I would hope most people, like some people I believe are irredeemable, but I would hope most people would become better people and actually develop, change, and just, become the best versions of themselves. Like, that's all I want in life for people. But I don't know. I'm to the point where I don't know if that's really something that could be in the cards for Foodie. Like, I really don't. Like, her or Amber. But thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And as always, I hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.